What the hell? Wacko.
Yo. Jesus, Tactical, man. $50 gifted subs, dude. Yo, I appreciate that, Tactical. That's insane, man. Dodged? Oh, no. Want to do 100, but the bank says no. Listen, maybe the bank's on to something. It's so many, man. Thank you, Tactical. That's huge. Thank you so much, Tactical. 50 gifted subs. Sheesh. How many are you at, man? 2141. Oh my god. I'm changing banks. Oh my god. You don't need no, you're the bank's on to something, man. Still not a VIP. Yeah, VIP is expensive, man. VIP is expensive these days. But hey, you got this. I'm kidding. My VIP slots get filled. I make a lot of people VIPs. I'm too lazy to remove them, so I'll VIP at 3,000. No. I'll remove some soon. I'm still going for Hetty's record. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, just 10k more for VIP, guys. Hey, let's all cheer on Tactical. 10K more subs. And you get VIP in this chat. Let's go. I'm obviously joking. I'll free up some slots, Tactical. Does it override your other badges? I guess it doesn't. Only 8,000 more subs. Light work. I wonder if there's a 3K badge. That's crazy, bro. I got VIP in another channel, but I spent like 100,000 bits. Yeah, well, it's a little expensive here, man. You know? Uncle Chloe with the 44 months. And Marley Molo with the 2 months. Thank you guys for those resubs. Also, Sweaty. Sweaty4 with the Prime as well. Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all. Drop 100 in offline chat one of these days. You don't need to do that, man. In fact, please don't do that.
That's Mama Luigi to you, Mario.
That's way too much.
Yell.
Negret Sky, the 43 months. Thank you. Huge 43 months. Appreciate those resubs. Thank you guys. You're awesome. Hopefully, not too many Dodgers. I'll jump scare him when he's in WoW. No, we're not playing WoW. No, I mean, listen, keep in mind, I was playing WoW because my dear friend Mantis said I should. And he bought me the game. He bought me a sub. I said, all right, fine. I will fucking play this shit. And, I did. That was a terrible time. Pretty terrible time. That guy Mantis never streams. He should be streaming, though. Why is he not streaming right now? Does anyone know? Has he said why he's not streaming? Because he was moving before, but I think he moved already. Family things? It's always something, huh? Connection issue in his new place? No, there's no way he's got connection issues. He's got a stream. At Racer Goose. Racer Goose? Who's that guy? Is it actually Mantis's birthday today? You guys are right. I should message him. Thanks for the reminder. Maybe I am a bad friend. I never remember people's birthdays. Yeah, I'm really bad at it too. It's hard to if you don't like keep up and see people all the time as well. Because I live so far away from where my family lives, I like just completely I'm out of touch with calendars and shit. Y'all don't have calendars? Yeah, but like mine isn't like auto updatable. Which I should get. Write it down on what though? Like what do you guys write it down on? Like your phones, I guess? Facebook reminds me of birthdays? Yeah, I don't use that shit. Paper usually, man. You write down someone's birthday on a piece of paper And then what? Put it up your ass? I set up my phone calendar and it sets it for a yearly event. See, that's smart. Yeah, I should be doing that ideally. Only social I use now is Instagram. I don't even do that. That ass comment was crazy. Stick around. You'll hear things even crazier than that. If you think that's crazy, you ain't seen nothing yet. Okay. Anywho, was it Sunday? Oh boy. No unusual memes. They're slacking despite having a fucking Patreon where they double charge for meme compilations. They post like... Or are they... Maybe they changed it to Mondays now. No, because this one was posted 5 days ago. So they post Tuesdays? I'm confused. Is it every Tuesday? What are we playing today? We might do something cursed. We might do CS2 placements. We'll see. I gotta unsubscribe from this Gaming Bolt channel. Enjoy, no Enjoy. Enjoy soon. I gotta see how CS2 runs on this machine. SC2 won't be too bad. StarCraft won't be too bad. I'm not playing fucking StarCraft. CS2 unboxing to sell for Warframe Plat. That's a good idea. I think Blizzard are trying to sell the StarCraft IP. Good, maybe someone that's actually smart will do something with it for once. Maybe a developer that gives a shit will take it over. Who knows? That's the hope, though, huh? Ooh. Game ranks.
We all
10 upcoming games with unique mechanics. Case opening? Yeah, actually, if we do a case opening... Wait, if we do a case opening, this is smart. If we do a case opening, and we get, like, a rare knife, we could sell that rare knife, then we can... Why isn't chat working? No, not again. There we go. And before a Korean company makes a better StarCraft, oh, they should. Then we can use the knife for food. No, it's hard. It's hard to take the knife and turn the knife into food. Okay, but we can turn that knife into something even better. Steam games. Okay, because you can sell that knife for Steam currency. Then we can fund the Wheel Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. And by that, I mean, I play 3 games that you guys suggest, abandon the stream for 3 months, and more than likely just don't come back at all. So big things could come out of this case opening. You never really know. No more Wheel OG, please. We can bring back the Wheel, guys. Trust, okay? Don't leave us. I won't. Okay? I'm going to be here all month, all right? This entire month, guys, I'm going to stream. I'm going to stream for the rest of this month, guys. I promise you, okay? Don't know what I'm doing next month, but this entire month, I'll be here. You can't abandon the stream for 3 months. I discovered offline sub-gifted subs. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's too many subs, man. Oh my god, really sick OG. I just saw the date. What? Somebody clipped that? Why does Alex sound like my absent father? I'm not... Dude, I'm not that fucking old to be your dad. Let alone your dad who abandoned you. Okay? He'll be here, but we'll show up late. What the hell? Didn't realize you made that so big to accommodate large foreheads. Just gotta get rid of you right away. Like you can't. Like what the fuck? So what the fuck was that? You need to stream to get the YouTube content? I know, dude. Unironically, yes. Unironically, guys, I need YouTube content. The goal is 1,000 viewers. Brother. For what? Wait, what? Well, listen. I'll tell you right now. We ain't getting 1,000 viewers with fucking Empire of Ants. Okay? We ain't getting 1,000 viewers with Mirthwood. Okay? Evil Within 2 ain't getting 1,000 viewers. Talking about get 1,000 viewers, OG. You know what I gotta do nowadays? I gotta fucking be entertaining. Which that's hard to do by itself. I mean, who's got time for that? 1,000 can be done with singing monsters? No, it can't. Didn't you get hella viewers with Warframe? Yeah, bro. I used to be the Warframe guy. Cursed baby will? I mean, you boot up Minecraft, you will reach it quick. But then I'll have to play Minecraft. Don't you see the issue? Is it that bad? I gotta fucking boot up Minecraft? Like things are that bad? Maybe. Have already sold your soul to Repo? Did we? We played Repo like 3 times. Is that selling my soul? It was fun. We might play Lockdown Protocol next weekend. That or like get stuff. I don't know yet. Chrissy with the 5 gifted. Let's go, Chrissy. Thank you so much. Minecraft with mods is a whole different game. Minecraft is really good when you literally play a different version of it that's anything but the base. Guys, play this game. It's really good. You just have to get tons of mods that make it unlike what you're originally purchasing. It's phenomenal. What? Terraria playthrough? Oh, you guys missed a Terraria playthrough. Yeah, Terraria playthrough you guys missed. That was, man, if I could go back to the Terraria playthrough, that was so fun. Run it back. I don't know how. I mean, I've been watching Moon play hardcore what is it, Zenny Seed? But that seems like trash, dude. Do the hardcore Zenith? Nah, that seems like trash. Like, I was thinking about, like, the Empress fight. Awful. Duke. Awful. Moonlord's kind of whatever at that point. Your end game, you might as well just cheese it or some shit. But, like, yeah, there's a couple fights that I don't want to do at all. Setting up for Duke isn't even that bad. Duke's pretty bad. No, Duke's pretty bad. Wall of Flesh takes fucking hours to prep for. Have you run Calamity yet? People have started making mod packs for Terraria. Yeah, so we beat base Terraria, Master Mode, which is the hardest difficulty non-permadeath. Dude, I sound like... So, the great thing about Terraria, and some of you may have played it, but I beat Terraria on Master Mode, which is the hardest difficulty. And then, we came back, and we also played it on Calamity. Okay? We played Terraria also on Calamity. Okay?
It's Golan time.
Elmo voice? Muppy Ghoul, thank you. Yeah, but, yeah, anyways. Terraria was a lot of fun. More like, when the fuck are we playing Valheim so Tinker can build the Taj Mahal again? I gotta look into the dedicated servers. I might have to set up a dedicated server this upcoming month. That's for the Valheim. I miss Cult of the Lamb. That was good. That was at the beginning of the wheel. I can help with that. Sure. Yeah, if you want to look into some, because I don't know if I want to pay for one or like what do we be doing with it, but I want to get one for Valheim, and I want to get one for Palworld, because I know we still want to do Palworld at some point. Coffee. You're interviewing with Bicycosin tomorrow. Oh hell yeah! See if we can get a free server. If he actually, unironically, if there's a server host, like I will promote a server host. Unironically, because we're always like playing games where like we have a pretty big lobby of folks, and it'd be nice to just have like a dedicated server that friends can use, like a server host. Palworld, yeah, I meant to do Palworld a while ago when they had that big update. But it'd be huge because it's for their partnership manager position. Yeah, yeah, if it was like I'll do a little bit of personal research, obviously, before I just slap brands on here. But I am looking for like our friends play games all the time with each other. Like I'm sure many of you like they're at a Discord hangout. Like it'd be good for our Discord to get a server as well, because we have a few people like Crip who set up game nights, just for folks that like, you know, so they don't have to set up their own servers. We could just have like a server connection. That'd be kind of nice. At this point, I think I'm a sponsor. That's true, Tactical. You pretty much are a sponsor, actually, unironically, of the stream. You're definitely keeping things going. You're keeping the operation going. You know what I'm saying? But no, I appreciate you a lot. Anyways, yeah, we'll look into everyone's gonna play Schedule 1. Yeah, we might play Schedule 1 next month. We'll see. Can you create a new channel in your Discord about game suggestion? I'll think about it. Because last time we did that, that's the curse of the wheel came from that. But if I do the wheel again, it's gonna be different. I already mentioned that. But wheel game suggestion. You mean just in general game suggestions? Monster Hunter Wilds when? So, the last Monster Hunter Wild stream I did was we did Tempered Gore Magala with the community. And that's pretty much endgame. So the next one might be like, I guess, like April 4th. Because that's when the update is. So we might do that update. But it's at this point, it's just going to be slow roll updates. You know what I mean? I thought his drink was a giant vape. No, it's my Stanley. It's my Stanley. I usually I drink a lot of fluids, okay, when I stream. So instead of going through cups, or instead of going through cans, it's just I keep this. Somebody said it's too small, which, by the way, I don't know. This one seems appropriate. Like, I drink a lot of fluids. I drink I drink a lot. Who says shit like that, brother? I'm just gonna play this fucking video. Top 10 upcoming games with unique mechanics.
We'll have our favorite games, our favorite genres, and a lot of the time we just stick to what we know. There's no shame in that, but every once in a while it's nice to know what's.
Is this Falcon?
Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, 10 upcoming games.
Listen, me and Falcon. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Falcon takes. I'll put it to you that way.
Games with unique mechanics. Starting out with number 10, Kingmakers, and the fully destructible environments we're seeing in that game. So here's one of these games where all I need to hear is the premise.
Someone said it's Souls-like.
But you got modern day weapons and gear.
Yeah, this is a Souls-like.
Tell me anything else? You have my money already. Have you seen the trailer? I have. You're looking at it now. Just blowing away hundreds of footmen with a machine gun. Yeah, it's a third-person shooter combined with Dynasty Warriors. Simple, brilliant idea for a game. They could have stopped there, but no, the game goes even further by making it so there's fully destructible environments, too. Whip out a grenade launcher. And
this is like Days Gone, but instead of zombies, it's like... Also, I don't think this guy survives this, by the way. Because, like... Okay, yeah, like an AK would probably mow down a militia, but crossbows existed, bro. Ain't no way this guy's surviving like one poison-tipped crossbow bolt. Okay, he's done. All right, he might take out a few of them. I'll give him that. An AK, armor-piercing rounds for sure. Like I don't think the Knights will withstand like a 30-round AK magazine. But having said that, you're telling me this guy's gonna mow down 1,000 Knights? Like what? As if they don't have spears that they can throw?
The local watering hole, why not? It looks like a pretty in-depth physics model too. Buildings don't just crumble into dust. They actually not to keep stalling, but I actually would be curious to see, okay? I wish we had a time machine so that we could bring back fighters
from the old days. I know this is gonna sound like where is this going? But like basically, it'd be interesting to see like a UFC match between like a modern day like welterweight champion and like I don't know, one of like Hannibal's fighters or something. You know what I'm saying? Or like a gladiator even, right? Just to see the matchup difference. I'd be curious. I'd be curious to see if like our fighting over the years has gotten better or if it's gotten worse because like the stakes are like are lower now. You know what I mean? Like because back in the day, if they throw you in the pit, it's either you live or you die, right? But nowadays it's like you either get paid or you get paid less is basically how it works. So there's less motivation, you know what I mean? But I'm wondering if it's like, yo, if you don't win this, you're dead. Like adds to, I don't know, somebody performing better or worse, or whether like training was better or worse back then. I don't know, because if that's all that's all they did back then too, right? Like the Olympia wrestlers and shit like that. Every day they wrestled. You know what I'm saying? That's all they ever did their entire life. Whereas like training nowadays, you know, you do like a 9 to 5 or something, maybe 12-hour days or something, but you're not doing it every single day. You know, I just be curious. It's kind of like that's, you know, it is Mantis's birthday. Happy birthday, brother. Why aren't you streaming? You think I was lying, OG? About what? There's actually a new Spartacus season coming out. What? What are you talking about? Oh, Mantis's birthday. Oh, no, I didn't know. Somebody said ask him, so I did. I was just confirming it. I didn't think you guys were lying. I just wanted to make sure.
Part and fall over realistically. So
people back then were so strong. That's what I'm wondering is if people back then were stronger or not. Because like training and techniques has developed, right? Especially with like research. Because like yes, they probably had brutal regiments, but like nowadays you have access to different medicines. You have access to different trainers. You fly around the world and spar with people from different countries. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm wondering, and also steroids. They didn't have steroids back then. So there's like probably tons of things that would make a modern warrior like stronger than somebody, you know, back several hundred years ago. But I'm also wondering if it's like, if all you did your entire life was train to fight, if you would still outweigh somebody that's like fighting in the modern day like circuit. You know what I mean? That would be my I don't know. Like what would be better? What would be worse? Because also the life expectancy back then wasn't very. Anyways, I don't know why I'm going on this tangent about this game.
Handedly, you're also a one-man siege engine. I was pretty excited before they said that, but now I'm more.
Okay, so I don't think they beat out a tank, bro. A tank.
More excited, Kingmaker.
Yeah, I don't know what a. I don't know what the King's Guards do against a tank.
But now
Where do they get the fuel? That's a good question.
I'm more excited. Kingmakers is definitely one to look out for. Moving on to number 9, Crimson Desert, letting you fly a dragon. There's just a lot going on in the trailers for this game. It's an open-world action RPG from Pearl Abyss that seems to combine elements
crazy.
of
We're just advertising a Pearl Abyss game like this, but okay. Okay, Falcon.
Wild and a platinum action game to make something wildly ambitious looking. Let's not forget the whole Witcher 3 vibe that they're definitely cashing in on with a lot of
Pearl who? This is a Black Desert game company.
All of it looks really impressive, and I'm tempted to be skeptical about it because, well, we've been let down before, but it's clearly the real deal. There's a ton of footage out there, and they've been showing the game off pretty extensively in the last few months. There's a lot of stuff about the game I could focus on here because it's got some pretty impressive physics simulation stuff going on in the background, on top of the game's environments looking almost impossibly gorgeous. But the thing that sticks with me the most is that you can ride a dragon.
What?
In an already seemingly staggeringly huge open world game that's packed with detail, they give you the ability to fly high into the air and lay waste on the back of a dragon. I have no idea how extensive the mechanic is. Like, is it just something you can do after mounting an enemy dragon, or do you get
Didn't they just introduce a dragon into Black Desert? Also, this is like they already have Black Desert, but they made like a single player Black Desert. It's very strange. I don't really know what their like intentions are. Besides get you to spend money in that game. They are very good at getting you to spend money in Black Desert Online. Oh man, one of the best. You know, one of the goats of all time. I was gonna say, but yeah, one of the goats of all time. You would know. Gee, I would know. I would know about a lot of companies that prey on microtransactions. Okay,
A dragon mount or what? I have no idea. But it's
technically, that's a wyvern. Yeah, well, technically, you're banned. How about that?
a thing you can do, and it looks spectacular. At number 8, you can switch seamlessly between crewing a ship and on
Wait, wyvern what? Wyvern what?
foot combat in Jump Ship. It's an upcoming co-op FPS that looks pretty impressive in the way it looks. It lets players switch between ship-based gameplay and on-foot action.
Dude, this just makes me think of like Dust 514 or whatever the fuck it's called, man. God, that game would have been good. God, that game would have been so good if they actually just did what they promised to do, man. But instead they just like they came up with such a fucking dope idea and then they just turned it into a piece of shit. Like, they have the best formula. You have the entire EVE Online player base full of like fucking billionaires. Okay, I'm surprised people like Elon Musk aren't playing EVE Online because it's literally like a game made for boomers that love spreadsheets and have a lot of income. Okay? And then they made a game that they were like, okay, so this is a shooter where people from the EVE Online client can get the people from the shooter game to do missions for them. And so let's say you own like a fucking megacorp, okay? You're like a boomer, you're sitting there with a billion fucking zennies or whatever the hell the currency in that game is. Credits, I forget what it's called, whatever. And then you're like, okay, I'm not a shooter, but I have a lot of income. I'm gonna hire a zoomer, okay, in this other game to go invade this planet for its resources because these resources are valuable for me and my company. Because my company will use these resources for like ships or like to build a bigger like marketplace hold. It just sounds sick, right? Because like one, the people in the shooter game, they don't have to play the spaceship game because they're probably not going to be good in it anyway. Two, you're getting to like make games. You get to make money in that game from people that are rich in a different game, but both universes combined. That's such a good idea. Like that seems like such an easy W for them to like just release a different. Like, I don't know. It's just, oh my god. But they like somehow fucked everything up. They somehow did it. I don't know why. I don't know how. I think I watched the video on it. It was like called like the downfall of Dust 514, but like an economy game mechanic. Sort of. It's just like I don't know, what's another example of it? I think of it like you're playing just like any MMO, right? Like say you're playing World of Warcraft and then you can pay somebody like money to do a quest for you that affects your World of Warcraft guild in a different game. And so you send them say 100 gold and they'll go do a fetch quest for you in a different game. Real players that you're paying instead of like NPCs, they're real players. They go do a task for you. They bring back the quest reward. You pay them in gold. They spend that gold in their own game, and you get the quest reward, or you get the quest item that you were looking for. You can use that in your game. And it's like a mutual beneficial thing, but then like that company has its own reps. Like, are you hiring are you hiring a good squad to do what you need them to do? Or like, you know, there's like a bunch of different politics that can be involved with it. They can betray you. There's like a bunch of shit that they could do with it that could make it really interesting. You know what I mean? But they dropped the ball really hard, and I don't know why. Have the job market hosted by people in another game. It just like, I don't know, it seems like a really cool idea. And then like it'd be cooler if they could integrate it where like the people from Dust 514 could like get on your ship. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say you have a giant ship, and then like in their game they're getting on your ship, and in your game you're seeing them on your ship, but they're two different clients operating like sort of independently. You know what I'm saying? That'd be very hard to do, I imagine. But like, even if it's just like the novelty of like the game takes a screen cap of your ship, so and then ports it over to their clients, so it looks like they're on your ship in their world, but they're like not. Even that's like, I don't know. That seems like a lot of tech, so I wouldn't say that would be like crazy, but that just seems like such a good idea. But yeah, it just did not work out that way at all. They turned it into some weird like battle royale like almost thing, or like some survival thing with NPCs. They just they took a really cool idea and just like, I don't know. I'd have to watch the video again or something. But anyways, I was just thinking about this one. Whenever I see games like this, I always think about the potential of Dust 514.
The ship stuff kind of looks like Sea of Thieves and various other co-op pirate games where you and your crew man a ship, put out fires, board enemy ships, etc. But what makes this game unique is how expansive and apparently seamless it all is. The scale of it is so much bigger than anything in one of those pirate games. You're literally flying around space, entering the atmosphere, traveling to a mission zone, exiting the ship to do whatever it is you've arrived to do. Then you run back to the ship, do it all over again. When someone pilots the ship, other players can man turrets, perform repairs, build parts to
I've seen this game.
and all while your ship is moving around
This
in
game
a
looks good.
gigantic environment. It's not a completely
Literally
new idea
Railjack, yeah.
necessarily, but the presentation and scale of
Actually,
it
no, unironically,
is
this
well
is
beyond.
Railjack. The thing is, like, Warframe introduces like tons of different mechanics all the time. Railjack is pretty sick, but it's not Warframe. I like Railjack a lot, by the way, but Railjack should just be its own game because it's so fucking different from what Warframe is, I guess. Like, I like the ship, but just you're in like a god suit, and you're like in a spaceship. It doesn't make, because you already have the archwings anyway. So it's like, why does it really make sense? But whatever, it's just beside the point. But yeah, Railjack is like a really good game mode. It's kind of underrated, I think. People like it, but I don't think it gets as much like utilization as maybe they wanted them to get, or I don't know what the verbiage is, but yeah, it's fun. Railjack is a Warframe like event or side missions you can do.
On anything I've seen before.
It's similar.
Fantastic.
It's very similar to this, though. You drive a spaceship around, you go do missions, you get off the spaceship, do the mission, get back on the spaceship, complete it.
Too. The trailers show a game that's just got a lot of mechanical depth.
Railjack succeeded in what Archwing is supposed to be, but still fails because it's still walled off into its own thing. Yeah, I don't like Archwings. I like Railjack, but Railjack just seems very out of place in like the context of Warframe, which is like, but a lot of things feel that way nowadays in Warframe. Like Duvari feels very out of place. 1999 Dating Simulator feels out of place. So yeah, you could say that about a lot of Warframe stuff. But Railjack is still a lot of fun. I'm glad that this game exists. What's this game called? Jump Ship?
But it also seems very intuitive and fun. It doesn't look like a big confusing slog. Some of these types of survival co-op games are. What's been shown so far,
Malga's a PvP version of this?
I hope the final
Interesting.
product manages to live up to these amazing.
Was there like another game like this? It was called like Everspace or something. I seen it on Steam. It was something space, I think. I forget what it's called, but it's like similar to this. I remember EVE Online. Yeah. Oh, it's called EVE
And
Online.
number 7 is Climb to Survival in Cairn. There have been a few climbing games recently, but what seems to really make the upcoming Cairn unique is how in-depth the climbing mechanics actually are. It's not just exploration or story with some climbing. The climbing is what this game is about. They're not trying to replicate the look of rock climbing, they're trying to emulate how it feels too. The game doesn't just give you a set pattern of rocks to grab onto or gets by with a simple stamina system. You have to actually find solid holds for your hands and feet, and you can adjust your posture to shift your body weight. There's a ton of management that goes into climbing in this game, and it makes it feel far more involved than other games in this little genre. There's resource management as well. You have to use pittons and make stock holds and chalk to improve your grip, finger tape, so on. And when you're not climbing, you're exploring around the areas that aren't sheer vertical cliffs to find resources. It sounds like there's a lot going on here, and it looks and sounds very intriguing and maybe a little frustrating, but hopefully in a good way.
They should do one for a building, like where those people climb the skyscrapers, which is crazy. But I don't know if you guys have seen those, but like the videos where some guy would just like climb a building in New York. It's just fucking ridiculous. Like their POV is just, it's like, I don't know what's dumber is the videos where they're climbing a building or where they're just going cave exploring and are squeezing themselves into like holes that only small rodents could navigate through and then getting stuck. Like, I don't know what's dumber. Stream volume seems a bit low to me in general. That might just be because I'm doing stuff on the side. I'll turn it up a little bit. Stream volume seems a little low. Yeah, it shouldn't be any different than usual. Thanks for letting me know that I'll look at it. Climbing Souls-like. Cave diving is way scarier, though. Kind of, yeah. I guess cave diving is scary because you get, like, disorientated. But, like, I don't know. I feel cave diving would be better because like you're not really. Some people like to like crawl through holes, but cave diving's scary because you're swimming through tunnels and then you get like lost very easily, and if your light goes out, you're kind of fucked. Where I feel like as cave exploration on land, these guys are like they're literally crawling on their stomachs, scraping against the fucking like the ceiling of these different like I don't know fucking hallways they find, and then getting stuck like upside down. That seems ridiculous. Some dude got stuck upside down and passed. Other cases, of course. Yeah, he's not the only one, though. There's so many cases where they get stuck upside down and die. Like, I honestly don't know what's dumber. Is that or, like, climbing a fucking vertical building for 80 floors?
And number 6 is traveling through time and changing the world in Clockwork Revolution, a game with a really ambitious premise. There's not a lot of actual information on it yet, but the game is so audacious it deserves a look, even though there's almost...
Falcon, we gotta stop doing there's no information on this game yet, but this is the top 10 most unique game of all time this year. Like, I'm getting fucking sick of this, like, clickbait shit. We don't need to make these videos 12 minutes. Literally, there's so many other games you could find with unique mechanics. Do we have to use ones that we have no information on? PBJ Sandwich with the Prime. Appreciate you. Thank you for using that Prime on me. Thank you so much.
There's nothing else to talk about right now. The BioShock-inspired FPS action game looks like it's got all the basics needed for a game like that. It's got...
I was going to say, it does look a lot like BioShock Infinite to me.
Retro-futuristic city, a Rapture-adjacent name. In this case, it's called Avalon. You use wacky steampunk guns with special powers. So far, so BioShock. What's going to make this game more than just another copy?
I like how it's called. This game's really unique, but it reminds me of BioShock, and they said it several times. Yeah, this game's like BioShock, very unique.
It is a time travel mechanic. You actually go back in time and make choices that affect the future of the city. So, it's BioShock if it was Sonic CD. The trailer shows off a world that starts off bright and colorful and transforms into a rundown warlike society, replacing the gold in the original version with gunmetal and gray skies. These changes apparently come from the choices you make, so this game appears to be heavily reliant on choice and content.
That's literally my face watching the trailer for this game, by the way. Yeah, that's my genuine reaction to this. A totalitarian state. Oh my god, guys, at first the world looked good and then it looked bad. Holy crap.
To be heavily reliant on choice and consequences, which isn't a new idea per se, but you rarely see a game where your choices actually seem like they matter.
Okay, so 3 different things were mentioned and you said it was like other games. Again, how is that unique? 10 unique games. This one has 3 mechanics that remind you of other games. Reminds you of BioShock Infinite. Reminds you of the time thing where you choices matter like other... Okay.
Hopefully this game pulls off the ideas that it's got and really makes the whole butterfly effect feel like the real deal.
Man.
If the only 2 timelines are the ones shown in the trailer, the Clockwork Revolution is going to be a bit of a disappointment. But hey, we can hope. And number 5 is Intimidating Dinosaurs in the Lost Wild. This survival horror game's visually super impressive, but just from watching the trailer, you'd assume it's just another horror game. You know, you hide from monsters in heavily scripted sequences, craft a few resources to scare them off. Basic stuff, not necessarily bad, not necessarily innovative. The Lost Wild sounds like it's going to be a little more interesting than that, though. Rather than just populating the game,
why would you ever walk up to a Stegosaurus, brother? Are you like, you deserve whatever death comes your way if you're just walking up to this thing? Are you fucking delusional?
A little more interesting than that, though. Rather than just populating the game with mindless monsters that only ever try to kill you, the developers behind this game put a strong emphasis on the fact that the dinosaurs you're dealing with aren't just mindless warriors, they're animals with complex AI patterns, so they don't always act how you'd expect in a horror game. So evade predators when you can, but it's possible to startle and even scare them away if you catch them off guard, or use other animals to distract them. Each dino has its own behavior, so careful observation.
Why are we just speculating? This is just a trailer that came out. Why do we keep getting like speculations off of trailers for dude?
Will allow you to better avoid them. It all sounds like a slightly more complex and unpredictable.
You might as well put Zookosis on here
than what you would normally see in games like this. And if the AI is actually as reactive and realistic as they claim, The Lost Wild could really be something special. At number 4 is
Okay.
building custom airships in Lost Skies. There are a lot of open world survival crafting games, but this one looks to be
now
the
Zukosis is a 5K view kind of video. It's not. Zukosis is not it, dude. Stop telling me Zukosis is it. It's fucking not.
most interesting. There's a lot of pretty fun looking mechanics going on here with gliding and grappling and climbing and shooting, but the thing that stands out the most, at least to me, is that you can create your own custom airships and control them in aerial battles. Sort of like Sea of Thieves if your ship could fly and you could build it yourself, which
This game is
is
unique like Sea of Thieves.
just such a cool and satisfying idea that, again, it hasn't really been done before. The whole build a mobile base mechanic, that's not new, but it looks so clean and intuitively implemented here. The core of the game is exactly what you expect with base building and rock punching, but also you got machine guns to get in shootouts with robots. It's a fascinating setting. It looks like a place that's just fun to be in. I've got pretty high expectations for Lost Skies, and with so many
Does look
survival
fun.
games clogging up the market, new games in the genre all tend to blend together. So when one stands out this much, it's worth paying attention to.
Zukosis was Peak Scarathon? Are you kidding me? Zukosis was Peak Scarathon, not like any of the other games that we played.
And number 3, creating alternate versions of yourself in The Alters, which clever name, right? No, it's a cool looking game. This narrative-driven survival game combines elements of a lot of different genres. There's third-person exploration, there's survival, there's XCOM-style base management,
Do you play as a dwarf?
there's third-person exploration,
Okay.
there's survival, there's XCOM-style base management, and then there's the marquee feature, the ability to make alternate versions of your main character to staff your base with who have their own needs that have to be fulfilled. So it's a little bit Sims, a little bit No Man's Sky, maybe some
That sounds cooked. You make your own self to staff your base. Yo, I just made a clone of myself. Yo, what up, bro? Yo, what's good, man? Yo, can you do the gardening? No, actually. You should do the gardening, I think. What? Yeah, you should. I think you should do the gardening. I should do all the main character shit. What? No, I'm the main character. Then we kill each other, and then the base is gone. Extreme procrastination. Also, it looks like House MD.
Frostpunk, possibly. It's a wild mix.
Frostpunk? Okay.
Made even weirder by the whole cloning mechanic, where each new clone is essentially an alternate reality version of your guy who made different life choices leading up to this moment. I mentioned
That's so weird. I mean, it's definitely unique, but like, you're just sitting at a table full of yourselves.
who made different life
Yo, man. Yo, what's good?
choices.
I'm the science one. I'm the scientist. I'm the science guy. I'm the smart one. Wait, which one am I? You're the dumb fuck that's gonna fix the leaking radiator. Actually, we're just gonna have you. You're literally bait for the monster outside. What? Yeah, we all took a vote. We decided you're the bait guy. The fuck?
leading up to this moment.
Look at this guy. Look at the way this guy's eating his cheeseburger. Yo. Yo. Ladies. Oh, just don't mind me eating my delicious hamburger meal. That's a reference right there if y'all know what I'm talking about.
I mentioned Frostpunk because it sounds like you have to make some hard decisions as the alters try to coexist with each other. There's a strong focus on narrative here, so
Now, never mind.
try to coexist with each other. There's a strong focus on narrative here, so the amount you can actually change things depending on choices that's up in the air. I'm not sure how much mechanical depth there is to all this, but either way, it looks interesting, even if I don't necessarily understand exactly what the gameplay loop is.
Oh no, it's the bait guy.
Exactly what the gameplay loop is.
No, the bait guy is dead.
How does the third-person exploring factor figure into the base management? Will the alters end up feeling like an afterthought?
Okay.
Will the alters and
Dude, who makes an altar and this is like what they choose to look like? Like, what is this guy? It's like all of them made different life decisions. What did this guy's life decision turn out to be? Was his life decision to move to Portland? Like, what is this?
End up feeling like
Okay.
an afterthought.
Oh yeah, this guy's got to go. I don't want to hear what this guy's life decisions were at all. This guy's got to go. He's the first one we got to vote out.
With everything else going on, I don't know. But I'm hoping for the best because it all sounds super interesting. And number 2, creating your own species in Adapt. Anybody remember Spore, that impossibly ambitious life simulator from Maxis? The
Yeah, it
guys
was
behind
peak-
The Sims.
peak
The final
gaming.
product was kind of a shallow disappointment, but
No, it wasn't. Falcon. Oh, dude. This guy. What the fuck are you talking about was a disappointment? The only thing that was really questionable was their end game. But, like, Spore was peak, bro. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It was a disappointment. No, bro. Spore was peak, okay? It just, the whole, like, Spice Wars things was a bit cringe. But everything was good, man. Also, yeah, this game's called, or a video called Top 10 Unique Games. This game is Spore. This game is so unique, this game's Spore. Okay.
there was one part everybody liked, and that was the creature stage, the part where you create and control a new species. Adapt is that, but expanded into an entire game.
Why do I feel like, what is going on with gaming where we're like regressing? No, like unironically. After like 10 years, we come out with games that are just like components of games we had like almost 2 decades ago. Can that be explained? We're just getting like parts of games that have been out for 15 years. They're like just the incomplete version of them. Yeah, it's like this is like half of Spore. Like, hey, oh, new game coming out. It's like part of Spore. What? Like, shouldn't we get like a Spore 2 that's like everything that's Spore and even better? Instead, we just get like parts of it. Indie developers? Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I shouldn't flame like indie developers. To be fair, they're doing their best. But like AAA companies, man. Like The Sims, right? Like I ranted about The Sims last stream, where it's like EA just gives us like bits and pieces of a complete game. It's not just like an indie dev thing. It's like Call of Duty just literally fucking refurbishes the previous, like all the big companies just they just put out incomplete games. I don't know, man. Doesn't EA also own Spore now? Yeah, EA owns shit and they don't do anything with it. That's the worst part. Is like the killing of IPs is so bad, bro. Like what happened with Alice, right? Like stuff like that is just ridiculous. Like they lock in contracts, you know, for example, was it Warner Brothers with the rival system or whatever it was called? They lock in these games and never do anything with them. It's like ridiculous, bro. Nemesis system. Yeah, they copyright the Nemesis system from Shadow of Mordor and then never do anything with it again. What the hell? Like, yo, we own this thing. Nobody can do it. All right, sounds sick.
Jeez.
What do you plan on doing with it to further it? Nothing. Yeah. What? Yeah, we're gonna abandon it actually. So that's what we're gonna do with it. Okay. Very cool. Like, imagine what an indie dev could have done with the Nemesis system. Probably something way cooler. Just saying. But instead, let's patent this thing and never do anything with it. Let's lock in the Alice game developer and then make him hate his life and quit making video games forever. Woohoo! Yippee! What a great idea. What's Alice? It's a game. I'm thinking of the right one, right? Alice, the one that's like we watched the video on it not too long ago. The one with like it's like a spinoff of Alice in the Wonderland kind of game, but it's like more dark, more gritty, more like thematic. It was a bit of a cult classic, a little, I would say, but people loved that game. I guess it was on console. They got locked into a contract. They tried to make a second one, but their publisher said no, and then they could never make a second one ever again. Is pretty much what it came down to. They couldn't agree on a second one, and so they pretty much locked him into a contract they can't get out of, and that company owns the IP indefinitely, and they have no plans on ever making a second one. So the guy that made that game is just basically fucked, and he wanted to make he had a whole like art book for. He had a whole story. He had full intentions of making a second one, and then they just killed his passion and motivation. I mean, he made like a blog post about it where he was like, hey, I really want to do this. Unfortunately, I can't. We can't come to an agreement. I think I'm just done with gaming altogether. This has killed my passion. So, and they wouldn't like let him go either. Like he couldn't go to a different publisher and get like a reinstatement or anything like that. Yeah, they said they have no plans to make a second one. Alice is too important for an IP to let it go. So they just basically fucked him over double time because they won't let the IP go and they won't let him make a second one. They just have the first game in a chokehold and they'll never let the guy make a second one. That's what it came down to. Well, and it's like people blame the guy because it's like he sold his soul, but it's like those types of situations they don't have a choice, man. Like if they want to imagine you're working on a project you spent your whole life on. You finally find someone to publish it. They say, but remember, we to publish this, we'll own rights to it. And you're like, fine, you'll own like X amount of rights. And then when you're like, oh, this one went really successful, should we make a second one? They go, no, we think the first one's good enough. Go kill yourself. Like I don't know. I don't know how else to like say it, man. It's fucked, bro. They would rather let the IP die than to like ever see it thrive again. That's like their mentality. That's the modern day publishing state. It's really fucking sad, bro. But like, yeah, what do you do? Do you either A, never see the game get published, or B, sell your soul and never see the game like flourish beyond its initial? Because Alice did well, from my understanding. It didn't do bad. It did well, but they just didn't want to give it a chance to see how the second one did. They just pretty much fucked them over completely. It's really, really sad.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. How can I call it unique if they're ripping off popular games mechanic?
Yeah, brother, I've been saying this entire video. This entire video, I've been saying exactly that sentence. So please tell me, what is the justification here?
Practically wholesale. Well, you see anyone else doing it? Spore came out in 2000.
Falcon, what do we do, Falcon? I don't know if you're rage baiting me at this point. You just proved your own point. You said, how is it unique? It's already been done. Followed by, do you see
IP
anyone
for
else doing it?
Stuff needs to be, if nothing else is made after like 8 years, you lose it and it gets auctioned off, TBH.
Yeah, there needs to be like IP protection. I don't know if it's like a government intervention that needs to like step into place though for that, right? Where like you can't monopolize an IP like that, or there needs to be like you mentioned like an auction, or just like it, or just like you're able to put the IP up for a different publisher to take over, publish it, and own like some royalty rights. You know what I mean? That way it's like, okay, we still own it, but another publisher can still develop it and put it out, and they can like make X amount of income off of it. Because it's like a win-win, right? The only thing is, will it affect our bottom line if it fucks up? So for example, if we give them IP rights to publish and it does poorly, will that affect us? Blah, blah, blah. Like that's probably what they're thinking of. Games Workshop method? Yeah, but Games Workshop doesn't give a fuck. Games Workshop doesn't give a fuck if the games they give rights to bomb. They really don't, because their bottom line is just selling the kits anyway. Who cares if like a mobile game does poorly? They'll give their IP to whomever. Okay, let's be real. But these other companies are like too afraid to do that, so like some of these IPs stay stagnant. If they could auction off IPs, that'd be sick. Imagine if game companies actually started doing that, and like I don't know, an indie developer with like a good idea comes around, proposes something, you know. That would be so much healthier for the marketplace and the community in general. If like, hey, we'll give you rights to our IP. If we like what you made, we'll publish it. But you can't publish it by yourself. You know what I mean? So like you could develop a game, and if they like it, they'll be like, okay, yeah, this is great. Let's publish it. Would be good. But I don't know. There's too many like legalities with that, and I know companies aren't gonna budge on that. They would literally rather see a series die than to like give it some leg room to run, you know what I mean? Anyways, how can it be unique? It's already been done before. Well, idiot, do you see anyone doing it? Isn't that what that means? That it's been done before? Well, no one's doing it now. Oh, you got me. Okay. Bro, I don't even know. It's like it's like wearing a UFC and a like shirt to school and like a Monster hat back in 2008. I don't even know if his analogy is any good. But then being like, yo, why are you wearing that UFC shirt? Everyone else is wearing the UFC shirt to school. Why are you doing it? Well, do you see anyone else wearing it? Isn't that what I just said? Well, no one's worn it today. Like, hi, happy birthday. Has Alex reacted to GameRank's review of Inzoi? Is it worth watching? I feel like it'll just be like rage bait. Now, I know you're thinking, this game's like The Sims. And while yes, there's a lot of things that they do right with The Sims, Inzoi does things a little bit differently. Like, do I need to listen to that for 25 fucking minutes or whatever their review is? Because I guarantee you it's that. I can already tell you what that entire video is. I watch too much Game Ranks. Yeah, I'm telling you, Game Ranks is like my it's my ESPN if I actually watch sports.
8. I think it's high time for somebody else to get a try.
Is more critical on it being bad?
Because it is an awesome idea, and being freed from the rest of Spore allows these developers to really make a meal out of this mode. Like, look at it. The creature mode is here. It's just a lot more options.
They're gonna get sued. They're gonna get sued. I'm laughing, but it's bro. There's no way EA is gonna let this shit.
Shut the fuck up.
There's no way EA is gonna let this shit fly.
Hey, Pookie.
Pookie is crazy, by the way. 99 months, almost 100 months. Faith, did you see the last VOD? We played that really, really good game that you gifted. Thank you for the 99 months. That's how many problems I have. OMG, nobody told you. We played a train station renovation.
And stuff is going on. You can create weird little freaks and directly control them as they start off.
What did you say? The hell did you say?
You can create weird little freaks and directly control them as they start off as some weak little bottom feeder, and then they evolve into an apex predator or not, depending on what you want to happen. The graphics, not mind-blowing, but the central concept's fantastic. Like, it's super nice to see someone do something with this idea that's been left utterly unexplored for years.
Yo, guys, isn't this crazy? After 17 years, guys, we get Spore. Again.
Now. And finally, at number 1, in Screenbound, you're going to play a game while you're playing the game. This one hurts my brain just a little bit. So the idea here is you're playing a game on a little Game Boy while...
What the fuck is this? Dude, I am not playing... No fucking way am I playing this shit. I'm literally vomiting looking at this.
Also moving around in a 3D world. It's strange.
This is what it's like playing a fucking like a mobile game in public. Like, imagine walking through a mall. This is what this looks like.
But the crazy thing is the game you're controlling is like the world you're walking around in. They're one and the same.
No.
Your movements in the 3D world dictate how you move in the 2D one, and vice versa.
No,
so
absolutely
what
not.
happens in one game happens in the other. I mean, at least you can zoom in and put down the Game Boy thing, which is called the Quantum Boy in the game, to get a better look at your surroundings. I'll say that. That's nice. They call this a dual dimensional space, aka 5D, which is a combination of 3D and 2D. And yeah, I'm scratching my head. I think that's kind of a weird one. I'm not so sure that I would consider it 5D.
I feel like Zoomers would like this shit. Me as a non-Zoomer, I can't deal with this. Like this feels like just like watching a video on alt tabbing or something. I don't know how to explain it.
Day and age where it feels like every idea's already been done in games. Something like this comes along and
this is what I do when I'm playing Final Fantasy or something, and you get like Honkai Star Rail in a different window. So in between boss pulls, you're like tabbing into Honkai, and you're like setting a daily, and you start that up and you tab back in and into like it's just
Finds what's possible. Not to say the concept of 2 games at once is, itself entirely new, but the idea of simultaneous 2D and 3D movement in the way that they're doing it here, I have not seen something that this even reminds me
this is
of,
crazy.
to be completely honest. And if I'm wrong, then,
this is definitely
this
unique,
game
though.
looks pretty damn interesting.
It looks unique
I'm not
for
sure
sure.
if it's going to be any actual fun to play, but damn if it's not unique. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription.
I feel like GameRanks at some point is going to tell me to stop reacting to their videos. I can already see it. Also, Jerky with the 7 months. 53 total. Thank you so much. The entire incentive of keeping an IP just to keep it is gone. Yeah, this is pretty cooked. Pretty cooked. Here's the insight before you buy. This is going to be rage bait. I can already tell it's going to be rage bait.
And we're back with another episode of
this
Before
Jake-
You Buy.
Jake
That show will
Baldino?
give you some
Okay.
straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. Today we're talking about Inzoi.
Wait,
This
is
video
it?
was co-written with Eric behind the scenes, and all this footage was captured on PC via a review.
Sounds
copy.
different.
So for 2.5 decades,
Gotta be Jake.
man, there has been one life sim style game that has dominated the market. Obviously, it's The Sims. Sure, it's not technically the
Look,
only
it's Alex. Okay.
game in the genre. There's other popular games, but there's nothing else that does
Name 2. Name 2 other popular games in the Sims genre. Yeah. I don't know what you're smoking.
exactly what The Sims does.
Sims 2 and Sims 3? Okay, you got me.
No real major competition to the throne. And some would argue EA has kind of grown complacent and turned The Sims 4, already a controversial launch in the series, into kind of a forever game, meaning just endless DLC and never a big overhaul that some people are looking for.
Okay.
People love The Sims, but some might be getting real sick of the series in its current form, ourselves included, and that's what makes Inzoi and its potential really such a breath of fresh air.
Okay.
It's like what we all want to like, but with actual innovation and new ideas. Not
Cool.
just the same old Sims 4 sold piecemeal for like a $40 a pop or whatever. So if you've played The Sims, you'll feel right at home in Inzoi. It's pretty much exactly like those games, but with a lot of highly requested features, things that have people been looking for in these games, like actual controllable Sims, or in this game's case, they're called Zois. Also a full open world and an actual car that your character can own and drive. I can't understate how just like revolutionary this game kind of feels to play after being stuck with The Sims 4 for over a decade.
So
now.
far, so good,
This
man.
is a game that makes a very good first impression. The character creator is very strong, but the more you spend time with this thing, the stranger it all starts to feel. You start to notice the bizarre little features tucked away in the complicated menus, the baffling framing story, and the many, many bugs which convalesce together to kind of make our time with Inzoi feel like a strange fever dream. That's enough preamble and setup. Let's just get to the point. This game is
All right.
strange. It's one of the weirdest games we've played all
Bugs in an early access mentioned. Who could have thought about that?
year, and at this point there's nothing else that really comes close. It's not the gameplay that makes it feel kind of odd, because in many ways this is literally just The Sims but more. And if you've played The Sims, then you're gonna feel right at home in this game because it's functionally the same thing. And in this case, I'm not even saying that that's a bad thing, because up until this point where we have been, there's no other Sims competitors at all, really.
And so it has AI generated content in it, so it might be that. So here's the thing. Zed, the developments. I'm not.
Watch the whole 10 hours of Nautica video good times.
Hell yeah, Zen. What'd you think of it? Was there too much cut out, you think? Was there enough? Do you feel like there could have been more? What's your initial thoughts? I'm curious. So the stuff that is like, okay, there's like AI and stuff in it, and like the Sims fan base will likely tear that stuff apart. Don't you worry, okay? There will be enough outrage about those like nuanced things that people didn't like on the feedback forums to last these developers a lifetime. if there's anything the Sims community is good at, it is complaining about features they don't like to the ninth degree. The difference is this company seems to be receptive of it, whereas EA quite literally doesn't give a fuck. Okay? So like the AI generated stuff, I'm sure they'll take it out. It seems like they've been receptive with the other things that people have asked for them to add and to take away. So just give it time. All right. Again, I'm not entirely sure about what they've added and what they took away. I've not played the game, but I've heard some stuff about the generated whatever. Maybe they're experimenting with it. Maybe they want to see if people will like that feature. Who knows? I mean, they got that 3D printer. That's pretty sick. Like, that's a cool feature. Are you going to play it? Possibly. It's like $40 right now. I'll probably play it at some point. EA would probably add more AI shit if it was in their game, TBH. No, they're too lazy. They took out hitting kids with cars. Dang it, I can't run over a child in the game? L game, bro.
So imagine a world where the original Doom dominated the
Oh,
market.
sorry, I think it's pretty good. Chat banter is always my favorite type of bits, and was glad to see stuff I missed when I was working. Hell yeah. Pretty good. I'll take pretty good, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was that was quite the video to edit. I'm glad that you thought it was pretty good. It's a 10-hour Subnautica, almost 11 hours, but cut out a bunch of stuff in the end. Anyways, appreciate that the feedback sent.
Market so much that nobody even bothered to copy it. There was never even a term for Doom clone that eventually...
I think you should be able to run over the kids. I just think the kids should like survive. Like you should hit the kid and he should be like, "Ah!" And then he like lands, gets up and be like, "Hey, like what the heck, man?" You know, something like that. But adults die. I think that would be like fine. Because right now it's just like you run into the kid and the car like stops. It's kind of weird. Then you keep hitting them. Yeah, it would just be funny, you know, when like, but it wouldn't hurt the kid. I think it would be the best of both worlds. Child abuse,
the entire first-person shooter.
I mean, as a child abuse is running a kid over with a car child abuse. I think at that point it's like attempted vehicular manslaughter. I think we'd be on the child abuse category.
Genre. That's basically what happened here. There's nothing else like The Sims. This is the only one even trying to do what those games do. So while it's derivative,
How are you to say there's other games like The Sims, followed by 3 minutes later, there's nothing else like The Sims?
in a lot of its ideas, I mean, what else are you going to do? There's been zero innovation or competition, so anything is better than nothing, right?
Okay.
So when I say the game is just all around crazy, I'm not going to say that it's bad. It's just extremely early access. And that roughness does add to the overall uncanny nature of the experience. But we're not willing to write it off yet. I do think there's some serious potential here that just needs some time to materialize. So maybe hold off, maybe wait, you know, look into this and see if it's really already delivering what you want or if it might deliver down the line, because the foundation is there. Look, we're going to sound like we're being really negative here about this game because there is a lot about this game that is bizarre and uncanny and awkward and, like we said, straight up baffling. But a lot of that just comes down to how ambitious
Why do you
the thing
guys
is.
review early access games, man? You guys are so fucking fried, bro. Just look at the Sims 4 launch, okay? That shit literally had like fucking missing textures and shit, brother. Like, what are we doing here? And that was called full release, by the way. Tony with
I'll let
104
Sage.
months. Insane, bro. 104 months. That's ridiculous, Tony. Thank you so much, bro. That's how many years is that? That's a lot of years. You're an 8.5 year subscriber. That is crazy. Almost 9 fucking years, bro. Jesus.
It's a game that's both admirable in a lot of ways, but also extremely cursed in other ways.
You should work in game ranks. Actually, no. No, actually, I think I could make a good game ranks video. No, unironically, you'd probably not publish it though. I would tell you right now, they probably wouldn't want to publish my videos. They'd be like, Alex, I don't know if this is like friendly for our sponsors. I'm like, dude, I don't care. That game was shit. They'll be like, you can't say shit in the video review, Alex. You gotta like do something else. Yo, what's up? It's Alex with Game Ranks here. Yo, new Madden just came out. This game's ass. Don't buy it. They literally redid the same shit they did last year. Total trash. It's $70. Not fucking worth your money. Literally spend your money on anything else but this dog shit game. Any bozo that's buying it for their Xbox, throw the Xbox out too. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the 9 other minutes that we need ads for, but let me give you the breakdown of all the features that they just like picked up and copied from the last game. With exactly no improvements. I would watch that. No, they'd be like, I don't know if this is the direction we want for our channel, Alex. You know, at Game Ranks we do things a little different. We like to use the word freaks and silly and ridiculous. We don't like you just saying fuck and shit every 5 minutes. This is who I am, man. You're not gonna change me.
The strangeness starts right from the opening cutscene.
Yo, this game's a Souls-like. It's dog shit.
Where you see this company that's been run by magic cats, and they're the ones creating the Zoys or something. So cats are your tutorials. Cats grant you these boons for completing life goals.
But wait a minute. Didn't that one creator say Inzoi isn't silly enough? Wasn't their review is like, unlike The Sims, Inzoi isn't silly. Meanwhile, I'm hearing over here about like the cats are corpo and they run everything. What? Okay, sure.
Cats even rule the underworld. In the land of the Zoys, cats are gods, but also they work at like a company or something. So
not silly enough. My sim didn't get caught on fire cooking pancakes, and then die, and then the Grim Reaper shows up. It does like a eulogy and starts stealing food from the refrigerator. Not silly enough.
Whole presentation of this game has, the forced positivity of a corporate training video that's hard to read as anything but like oddly sinister. The Sims also has us to a certain extent too, but Inzoi's uncanny valley visuals and being a part of a business framing story only makes all the other weird features and decisions stand out more. The juxtaposition between like the squeaky clean presentation with the whacked out feature set is what gives the game its character. Whatever you want to like choose to read that as. Look, all it took was getting to the character creation for this whole project to go off the rails when I discovered this little tab that allows you to create AI textures that can be applied to clothing or just about anything. So putting aside the complications of including some kind of AI model in the game and the questions that raises, like,
how's your first initial instinct under AI texture? Sewn flesh.
The complications of
who types in sewn flesh into generate AI? Of all the things, I would think like checkered plaid or like, I don't know, graffiti t-shirt. Bro types in sewn flesh. Okay, let's see what this looks like.
Including some kind of AI model in the game, and
the AI didn't transcribe flesh correctly. That's not what stitched flesh would look like if it was sewn together.
The questions that raises, like, where are they sourcing these images from? What tool are they using? And how long are they planning on keeping this up? Just ignore all that and focus.
Looks like bacon.
On the thing that actually matters, which is seeing the kinds of horrors this thing lets you conjure up.
I don't know, it's kind of funny, bro. I mean, even if people are like, you're ruining the lives of every artist on planet Earth. This shit's kind of funny. This looks ridiculous. I don't know. I know this is like L take, Alex, but I'm just saying this. It's kind of funny what it comes up with for like for clothes design. Like, what is that? Why did he click this one? This looks like fucking like mushroom spores or something, bro. What is that? What the hell?
Up, man. You just put in a text prompt and the game spits out a texture, treating
Ew.
this feature with the dignity it deserves. Here's like a quick sample of some of the amazing custom textures we were able to create, like too many teeth and stitched flesh, eyes on the inside, and nightmare gray.
What? Yeah, we came up with some pretty cool clothes design. This one's called Stitched Together Flesh. Yeah, it looks like flesh stitch. This one's called Too Many Teeth. It's like teeth stuck together with glue. This one's called Nightmare Fuel. Tap into the deepest recess of my mind and come up with horrors that would scare away my subconscious. Probably my favorite one, because I haven't been able to sleep for like 3 days after looking at this.
granny. No matter what you put in, these textures have got the telltale signs of like an AI slop texture. So an actual tool someone might be interested in using to make like real textures is fairly worthless, but to just make strange, stupid stuff, it's good. The actual creator is somewhat limited in regard to facial features, so you're not making like a WWE 2K level night.
Is that true? Is it actually limited?
Nightmare person. The limited tools don't really allow for that completely.
Look at Canvas. People have uploaded sick outfits with AI. That's cool, man. Yeah. I thought their character creation was bomb.
You basically get two options for people in the game: uncanny supermodels or Yakuza level freaks that look almost like how you'd imagine a person should look, but kind of off. This is what happens when you try to make a normal person in Inzoi. They inevitably fall into category 2. While category 1 characters may look very impressive in the creator, in the actual game, the lighting will fail them, and they'll just look also very weird and off-putting occasionally. It's just inevitable. So being able to change the color and the textures of clothes is pretty good, and the way the game lets you customize certain basic clothing items is awesome, like being able to change the collar and the sleeves on a t-shirt.
It's limited in some areas. For example, I want to make a black character, but there are only like 5 black hairstyles. Yeah, but I think contextually, just think of it as like it's an Eastern studio, so just give them a little bit of wiggle room. So some Eastern developers and Eastern studios don't really have a grasp on like Western designs. So like hairstyles and stuff, they don't really see that over there. I'm not trying to make excuses for them. I'm just saying that contextually, like here in the West, like we get character creations with tons of different hairstyles just because we're used to seeing that very often. In the East, they don't see a lot of. It's mostly people that live over there, right? I'll put it to you that way. Like it's a Korean studio. A lot of the stuff that you see here will look Korean. It'll look less like what you see out here, in the West. So I feel like the stuff that they'll work on in time, especially when people give feedback and they're like, hey, you should add more of these hairstyles. They seem to be receptive so far from what I've seen. That's the credit I'm giving them. It's like I've heard people give feedback and they've even worked with creators. Like I've heard like Sims creators have worked with these guys and they said that they've implemented the features they asked for. So that's promising already, Now, will they keep doing that? Hopefully. Maybe they'll stop. I don't know. Maybe they just will be like, nah, fuck it. We're not going to listen to you guys anymore. But the good sign is they seem to be taking feedback and being receptive of it. That's very positive. So I would put that out there. But I see what you mean by limited. Okay. It just seems like from all the outfits and selections they have, it seems like they get a lot.
That stuff's cool. No qualifiers or buts or anything here. That's just good. It's well implemented, and we like to see this in more games. Now, after creating a fashion-forward family, it's time to purchase a lot and build your starter home. For some people, this is the real meat and potato of these games. If you've spent any time with The Sims at all, everything about this process will look familiar. You pick a neighborhood. At this point, the game has 2 cities right now to pick from, either a South Korea-inspired one or a California one. You pick an empty plot, and then you build your house. The build menu is easy to use, and yeah.
What does Woohoo look like in this game? See, Primate, you're asking the real questions, okay? We've already seen all the fancy schmancy character creation and the house building. Whoop-de-doo. How do they have sex?